Dgenz Crypto Daily episode 43 is coming right up.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Dgenz Crypto Daily. That's right. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Let's go.
Dgenz Crypto Daily, news in the code. Riding on the blockchain, heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Try give us a meaning to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon, and Ether's on fire. Hold us in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now. Trading is wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz Crypto Daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets have been flown. Velo to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz Crypto Daily. Fortunes you can see.
Fortunes you can see.
Mining all those diamonds. Digital harmony. Dgenz Crypto Daily. Crypto, there's the key. Stay up on your game now. Charts got you wild and free.
I do. I have you wild and free. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dgenz Crypto Daily. We're in episode 43 on this amazing Friday in October. I know October didn't feel like Uptober, but let's just say that I think we're getting there right now. If you've heard our stream all week last week and this week, we kind of suggested that we were going to have this downward momentum to start the month. And it proved to be true, right? We needed to see a bottom in the markets before we resume up. And as you will see today, we're going to talk about how we can expect the rest of the month to look. Look into the possibility of revealing who Satoshi Nakamoto was, actually. We'll dive into that. But first, let's go over a few things. Here's your opportunity to give me a follow on X or Twitter. I don't even know what I call it anymore. I think I'm going to call it X, even though I like Twitter. It's really hard to say anything but that, but I think eventually we're all going to say X. As well, if you can give our sister account a follow, Dgenz NFT. We're a Solana-based community that is quite awesome, in my estimation. We have so much going on in our Discord. We have the 1000X DAO, we have the Dgenz investment fund, we have daily calls We have market outlooks. We talk about NFTs. We have a whole bunch of stuff. And if you're interested in something like this, click on that link and come by and say hi. For those that are in our Discord and are taking our trades and calls, we are partnered with Blowfin, and this QR code will give you 10% off on all the trades that we do. Blowfin has all the markets. As you can see, everything's up today. Everything's looking great. But if you were leveraged and took our trades, you were looking really, really good. More recently, they listed Moondang. So that's a really popular one. It has over $3 million in volume. Lots of memes. Lots of hot tokens that are trading right now. Ondo as well. So you get 10% off on all your trades. Lastly, if you want to interact with this stream, which I highly suggest, all you got to do is go to the streams page, go to the chat section in the right hand side, and say TGIF chart. And I agree with you. Okay. Let's get into the news. It says here U.S. added a blowout of 250,000 jobs in September. Unemployment rate dips to 4.1%. I'll tell you why that's good and bad. So it's good that we can see that we're getting slower into the recession, right? We're still in a recession, but it's not as accelerated. We're starting to add jobs. But that's probably because there was a rate hike, right? A significant one. So that accelerated the borrowing from banks to, pay wages, start new businesses, and so on and so forth, right? But this is bad in a sense that we really wanted a 0.5 basis point drop in October. And so this doesn't look like we're going to get one. So the more jobs are added, the less likely the Fed is going to cut the rates by more than 0.525. Okay. So when we see something like this, we go, all right, that's great. The economy is adding jobs. It's positive for the economy. It's positive for everyone, right? But we want to get that interest rate down in the 3% range, right? Right now, it's pretty strong still. But see, it says here, job data for September was far stronger than expected. The chances for a 50 basis point rate cut in November all but vanished. So this is what I mean by that. If the jobless rate or the unemployment rate went up by just a bit, we would have had that 0.5% drop. But because we didn't, we are going to see most likely a 0.25 cut, which will kind of ease us into the bottom of that recession. Okay. Because anybody that says that we're not in a recession doesn't understand how things work. It says here, unemployment picture in the U.S. heated up in September, with the government reporting an addition of 250,000 jobs last month, flying past economists' estimates for just 140,000. Excuse me. In addition, August previously reported 142,000 job gain was revised higher to 159,000. So it was a surprise, right? Obviously, this is because people were borrowing at a much cheaper rate, and that kind of helped. The unemployment slid to 4.1% from 4.2%. So it's still pretty high in my estimation. It needs to be down at 3 to 2% level to be ideal. I remember in previous recessions we had almost 7%. I know Canada right now has 6 point something percent unemployment, which is pretty high, right? And this is why Bank of Canada is going to be cutting even more recently. So one of the things that happened today, obviously, it was a pump from Bitcoin and the other markets. But I think we knew that was going to happen anyway. We expected at some point for this bullish activity to start and, take us into October. And we will see what happens later in the month with the CPI and the PPI. It's interesting to note that we did have a jump in oil prices because of the uncertainty in the Middle East. So we will see if that has any influence on the inflation itself. And I think there's a possibility of that happening. Because it's a lagging indicator, most likely it's going to happen next month. So nothing in October, most likely in November. And that will set up precedent for most likely a pause in December or January, and then more cuts, depending on how things work out. Especially because December is a really it's a month of expenditure, right? Obviously, people are buying Christmas gifts and people are buying things because there's Black Friday events and things like that. So there's going to be an increase in inflation during that time. And of course, it doesn't help the fact that that oil prices have gone up a little bit. So most likely there's going to be a pause at some point. Okay. So that's that. We'll go into the Bitcoin price in a second. But all right, let's see what else we have here. And it's actually interesting. I'm going to go over something really quickly. I'm really interested in this. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but apparently HBO is coming out with a documentary that is trying to name Len Sassaman as Satoshi Nakamoto. So now they're betting on the fact that HBO series will actually name him and not be ambiguous at the end of it. It says here, an HBO documentary premiering next week claims to reveal the true identity of Bitcoin's anonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Bettors on Polymarket are putting their money behind Len Sassaman being who the doc names. Okay. So there's a 48% chance of that actually happening on the markets. It's, the volume is not that great, but at least there is somebody thinking that it might be the case. It says here, Sassaman, who took his own life in 2011 after a battle with depression, is thought to be Satoshi because of his long history of published academic works regarding cryptography, which often shows his strong ideological commitment to privacy and decentralization. Adding to the speculation that Sassaman is Satoshi is the date of their respective disappearances. Sassaman took his life shortly after Satoshi stopped posting on BTC Talk, once the go-to destination for crypto destinations. I actually remember that site. This isn't the first attempt to unmask the creator of world's largest digital asset. Newsweek claimed in 2014 to have found Satoshi by scouring a database of naturalized U.S. citizens. The publication tracked down Dorian Prentice, Satoshi Nakamoto, who uses the preferred name Dorian S. Nakamoto. So I don't think that's the case. I actually do believe it might be Sassaman. It's kind of sad because, if you look up Len Sassaman in Google, there's a lot of stuff that comes up. First being a cryptographer, right? And his Wikipedia page says that he was a Mixmaster Anonymous remailer code and operator of the Rancid remailer. Much of his career gravitated towards cryptography and protocol development. Lots of stuff to look up if you really want to dig deeper. There's a lot of Reddit articles and posts about Len Sassaman and Satoshi Nakamoto. Did Len Sassaman create Bitcoin along with Hal Finney, which both died really early, which is really, really surprising. So Hal is right here. And I actually thought Hal was Satoshi for a while, because he was posting about very cryptic messages on Twitter about working on Bitcoin. So maybe they had two people with the pseudonym. So maybe if you guys want to, you go ahead and dig deeper and see what you can find. I'm curious what you guys are thinking about that. Okay, let's get into some Bitcoin action. So we kind of knew all along this was going to happen. Why? Because we talked about it, right? We talked about it on the stream many, many times, why I think these levels were good, where it can go. We talked about the fact that we just had the crossover, which is good, right? We took a few days to get to this level. There might be a couple more days before we get to the horizon, okay? And then from there, we will most likely start going up again, right? We'll oscillate like we're doing here, right? We're doing this. So we're getting higher and higher. The next we saw was support at this daily 200 EMA, right? The one thing I don't like is that we had a rejection right there at that 21 daily EMA. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to reject and go down. It just means that people are just taking profit at that level. We could still go sideways for the remainder of this MACD resetting and then go up again. The 50% rule is in effect all the time when you're trading. What I mean by that is we take our fibs, we draw them down all the way to the bottom. We're going to use the wicks in this case and see if everything fits. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't, so we have to adjust depending on if the wick is really true to the levels we're trying to get. But right now it looks like 50 percentile is at 59,000, 59.5, which almost corresponds with the 200 EMA, right? So the 200 EMA right now is at 59.9, 59.8, whatever. So we're pretty close. That means the drop down to the 50 percentile is true, right? And that means we're very, very bullish still. Remember, when this resets, it will pave way for our weekly to cross over, right? So we were talking about this crossover. We talked about how we needed a double, right? And so I think we're going to get that very, very soon, especially because we're crossing over in the bullish territory, right? Again, see what happens here? We cross over in the bullish territory. When we cross over in the bearish territory, like I mean down here, it will take a while to get bullish again. So when we're looking at this crossover and we see this momentum is shifting to the bull side, we know we're going to get this very, very soon. This is why sometimes trading does front run and we get price action, coming out of nowhere, so to speak. We didn't see this coming. We did see it coming because they see this. They go, all right, this is going to get very bullish very soon. I need to get into my trade, right? I'm going to leave this trend line the way it is for now. It looks like it's doing its job. It's showing that it is supporting at this level. Okay. When we do have this crossover again, I fully expect us for the week that's next week, our candle is going to be way up here. In fact, if this crossover happens, we may not even stop at 72,000 because this oscillating wave has to come up here and then down again, which means we might actually get up to here. We'll keep an eye on that as we move forward. Let's look at some indicators. Okay. Some important indicators. We talked about tether dominance, right? And let's move it on the daily scale. If you're following the stream every single day, you know that we talked about this tether dominance and why I called yesterday the day that we should be turning bullish, right? As you guys can see, right, we have this head and shoulder formation happening, right? This breakdown and touchback, it's exactly what we call the finishing of the right shoulder. So this will be the right shoulder, and that completes that. Once it's completed, we have to see a bottom. So either we stop here, or we stop there, or we stop here, or even further than that. You just break down. But this touchback was necessary to continue our drop. Okay. This little crossover is not going to last too much. It's going to probably come back down, which means, again, we're going to be bullish, right? October is very bullish. We should see most of this price action, or this dominance fall down to this level, right? Probably even further than that. Maybe we get down to here. That would be nice. All right. Again, we talked about the crossovers, right? We want something like that happening on this side. Once we have that breakdown, we have that momentum, right? That means we're going to have this momentum at some point straight down. Total 3. Crossover is about to happen, or I think it's happening right now. Most likely next week we'll see that full-on crossover. We won't see the full move until we are well into the crossover. So starting here, then you'll see the movement. So we have to be somewhere here. Let me go back. Somewhere here to see this action. Okay, and then of course, I know I've mentioned this many times before, but I'm super bullish on the way this setup is looking. In my estimation, we have like all of this to go, right? And I think about 3 trillion is the top. Now, of course, we talked about it before with the dominance. If the dominance does fall apart below this 40 percentile, and we're on the precipice of the actual action, I'll show you in a second. But if this falls through the 40%, that means altcoins are going to be worth a lot more in the bull run. The other thing I'm looking to add is this resistance right here. Okay. The MACD is about to cross. If we take a look, right? I don't think this is going to keep going up. I just don't. I think we're about to cross to the downside. That means the dominance of Bitcoin, even though it's going up in price, will allow altcoins to move up in price much higher. The only problem with altcoins in general is there's too many of them being created. And some of them actually play against the total market cap. So for example, Moondang came on the scene, right? Captured 40 million market cap. But that means from what coins? Because some coins had to give up that 40 million market cap, right? Unless new liquidity came in. And if the new liquidity came in, then I guess we don't have to worry about anything. But as long as new liquidity is not coming in, it's taking away liquidity from somewhere else. If you guys remember during Dogecoin in 2021, when it was surging like crazy, people were selling their positions in order to get to Dogecoin. That means liquidity is moving from, asset A into asset B. Okay. So we need to make sure that this liquidity is actually coming into altcoins, not new liquidity is coming into altcoins, not the other way around where, we're just rotating capital into another coin. October is taking forever. It is for now, right? But remember, we're 4 days in. We still have, 27 days left. Like 4 weeks left. All right, let's take a look at Everyone talks about SOL. When is SOL going to move up? So one of the things we always want to look at is the dominance of SOL, right? It kind of gives us a clue if SOL's going to move up, right? So if the dominance starts to creep up, that means the strength of SOL, regardless of the price of SOL, is going to stay strong. So for example, if the entire crypto market is dumping, but the dominance of SOL is going up, okay, that means the price of SOL is not going down as fast as everything else. That means there's some strength behind it. Not many people are selling SOL, even though everything's going down. That's what that means. In a bullish situation, right, if we have dominance of SOL going up and everything else is going up, that means SOL is flying in price action. Like it's going up by way more than everything else. So this is why we saw this crazy run up, because, you know, the dominance was just surging. I think we definitely get to the upper area of the dominance, like we talked about before. So this area right here, it's probably about 5%, maybe 6%, depending on where we end up. So 6% is quite a lot. I don't think many tokens have that much dominance. Most of them are in like 1% or less. ETH, for example, has 13%. So if we go to ETH, right, that's 13%. But we talked about this before. We wanted ETH dominance to be down here. This is the area. So anywhere between where we are now and right here. So under 14% at 10.5%. So if you're thinking of playing ETH at any point, wait for this area to hit, okay? And then you can say to yourself, all right, I think the dominance on ETH is going to start going up, which means the price of ETH is going to go up faster than anything else we have in the bull market. Same goes with, you know, Solana. We talked about the same way. If this starts to go, that means swap into Solana versus other assets, because it's moving up much more. Now, if this is dropping while everything else is going up, that means you got to get out of Solana. Not because the price of Solana is going down, is because there's better options out there to buy and hold during the bull run. Does that make any sense? I know sometimes it's a little bit of a complicated idea, but dominances are really, really important to look at all the time to identify if there's a run moving forward. Like even Ripple, for example, we saw some strength in Ripple, and we kind of almost called a run. If you look at it, like it's like a glove sometimes. If you look at it, it is stopping exactly there, right? And it's saying, all right, we're unwilling to sell at this point, no matter what the price is. And so no one's selling Ripple right now. Like none of the holders, really. Sui dominance, right? It surged and surged and surged until it couldn't surge anymore. Now it's dropping. Why? Because the price has reached the peak, in my estimation. When we see like these EMAs so wide apart, at some point we're going to see some regressions. Sorry, the MACD lines, sorry, not EMAs, MACD lines. When we see them that far apart, we're going to see some regression. So what we're going to probably see is a move down towards here, meaning that the price of SUI is not going to go up as fast as everything else. If we take a look at SUI's price, we did tell you to sell at those levels, and we were right. Okay, so see how that works every time? This level had to be contested, and it was, and immediately sold. So now what we're looking for is this part right here. It's going to take a while to get around there. So we're not going to see the surge all of a sudden. Because don't forget, we got to this level way quicker than expected, right? We wanted to get to there anyway, but we took like 4 weeks. So it's really quickly. What is that? That's 43 cents to almost $2. So it's nearly 4x. So now it's going to have to go sideways for a while. If you look at Say, I like that coin. We were correct in talking about this drop has to happen to these EMAs. So these are weekly 13 and 21 EMAs, right? It proved to be resistances before, like right there and right there. They have to be, and obviously right there and there, but they have to be also supports when they break through. So that's what we ended up getting here, right? We got a few supports right there. And so now I think if you're holding, say you're happy because it held and we had this crossover, which means the price action is going to start surging to the upside. Okay, so if you're holding and say you're looking really, really good right now. In terms of selling anywhere in the third section of this chart. So we have the second section here. I'll show you in a sec. Second section's in here. Third section's up there. Most likely what we end up getting is a surge to the third section. So be comfortable selling, say, at about $1.06, just like how we saw SUI sell off at this level. Okay. I'm mandated to talk about Velo every single time. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so we wanted to hold this position in that we said that there's a chance that it does drop to this level, and it did, right? But we never wanted to be in here, like under those EMAs. And so I'm happy that it held, right? This drop could have been devastating if it dropped way further than that. So it held pretty good. Now I expect this momentum to shift, right? We're bullish again, and this candle should close pretty well. Like it should look like this, like the doji that we had a few weeks ago. And then from there, we would probably get something up to here. And if it's stronger, way up to here. The MACD looks still healthy, even though momentum is switching a bit on the weekly. We still have what, 2.5 days left. So this can actually change and continue if we are bullish in the next 2.5 days. So don't despair. Things are good. Okay, I'm still way bullish on Velo. I haven't sold a single position yet, and I don't intend to. The other one we always look at, Oculus. Now, if you weren't part of our discussion yesterday with Lee and the things we talked about fundamentally with Oculus, please listen to our stream. I will repost it again today on our profile, on our Twitter profile. And, you know, fundamentally, this project is as sound as anything in crypto. So if you're looking to dig deeper into Oculus, listen to the stream. So let's go into a technical analysis on Oculus. On the weekly, again, we talked about this crossover. It's going to happen eventually. Momentum is for the bulls right now, even though we had some selling today and yesterday. We should continue to move up to this level here, at the 20-cent level. Okay. There may be some selling here, depending on, I guess, the type of week we have. I do want this first fractal, first wave to be up there. So first wave to get to 47 cents. Why? Because we talked about it before, right? We have been oscillating for a while, and we have to get out of this fractal, right? That was building up in 2022. So it was doing this. Okay, that's what we want. And I think we will get it, right? I mean, look at this, right? We had a crossover there. We ended up pumping all of this. And then we have a higher low crossover. I think it's, or maybe it's not higher low. Maybe it's exactly where it is. But we should see the same action up to here and further than that. So be patient. Add to these levels. Like if you're looking at 40 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents to get out, you know, buying a 7 cents, maybe 8 cents is a steal. I agree. Let's take a look at a couple more things I want to look at some meme coins, Politify meme coins, because they surged today. We had two that absolutely jumped, and that's Trump and Comma. We talked about them before, and we're going to talk about them again. So the meme coin associated with Donald Trump is Trump. Look at this beautiful run up. So that's the 15-minute chart. We're going to go on to the 1 hour. The funny thing about this one, I'll show you in a second, is I drew some lines the other day, and I'll be honest with you, they were just random lines. I just said, you know, this thing's going to go up to here, then there. And this price action stopped at the line, like to a T, if you guys can see that. It made me laugh. Like, I did not intend to do this at all. And it was funny how sometimes it worked. But one of the things you got to understand is when you see this MACD, okay, you can see that the lines are separating, right? The two lines that are there are separating, and that's always a good thing. So on a daily scale, it looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, because momentum is switching to being very bullish for the elections, right? We should see momentum now carry over into the next days. And I'm looking again at this level here. So anywhere in that area is fine by me. I'm thinking of selling somewhere here, right? We're looking at 64 cents. So almost a 300% gain. I will repeat it like I've repeated it before. Do not hold past the election. Same goes with Comma. All right. Similar kind of thing. I'm looking to sell right here. All right. So that's about close to 2 cents as you can. I know some people might say, yeah, it's going to get up to whatever market cap. I don't care. I can see it technically. I don't really care about future price action. I'm looking for the run up only for the election. Whether she wins or not doesn't matter to me. You know, could we get to this level? For sure. But I'm definitely selling here. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about any of these plays, please either send them in the chat in the stream or just tag me on Twitter, or even better, go to the Discord that we provide every single time. Go to the Discord and just ask questions. Like, ask questions. I'm always there. Lastly, just before we finish the stream, so I want to touch just on the monthly returns for Bitcoin and how insanely bullish we should be right now. We were down 7% yesterday. We're only down 2.87% today. What do you think is going to happen the rest of the month? I mean, I just talked about all these crossovers we have on the weekly, how daily seems to be supporting, how alts are rebounding, and we're down 2.87% for the monthly, and on average, we're up 20%. November is going to be probably bullish, up 8% for the month. December most likely is a wash. Can be either up or down, depending on whatever year we are in. So if you're not bullish enough, shame on you. Shame on you. All right, everyone, that is episode 43. I thank you again for joining me. I thank you all for participating every single time. As well, thank you for sharing the stream because it could help somebody else. See you guys tomorrow. Heavy with the load. Lambo dreams are dying, rugs are in the air. Try give us a minute to the trading everywhere. Real Bitcoin's on the moon and ether's on fire. Hold us in the storm, lifted higher and higher. With chart in the lead, watch the candles glow. Crypto's in the fast lane, never gonna hit them slow.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto, that's the key. Stay up on your game now.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds in digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto there's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.
DeFi farms are lush, staking's all the buzz. NFTs are flipping, got those pixels flipping. Wallet stacking yield, hash rates on the rise. Dgenz crypto daily, vision in your eyes. Bulls are on the charge, bears are laying low. Crypto roller coaster, markets ebb and flow. Fellow to the left, Bitcoin on the right. Crypto's never sleeping cause fortunes are overnight.
Dgenz crypto daily, fortunes you can see. Fortunes you can see. Mining all those diamonds, digital harmony. Dgenz crypto daily, crypto there's the key. Stay up on your game now, charts got you wild and free.